Hello, everybody. I know there's no one here right now. However, today I'm going to be interviewing Sam Okyere, and right now we're just waiting for him, getting all set up and such. I'm so excited. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
It's me.
Yeah.
Is it better now?
Let's wait. Let's see. It seems like it. How was your day?
Early morning. I had to wake up at 7. I had to get things done around like 8 o'clock, and I had a wedding. I have the interview, and right after I have a musical. So yeah.
A musical?
Yeah.
What kind of musical?
Korean music. I have to be there. I got tickets. So yeah.
Oh, you're going to go watch a musical?
Yes.
Nice. That should be fun.
I like your hair color, by the way.
Thanks. It's kind of old. And it's kind of growing out. And my ends are like dead because I had to bleach it. But yeah. Watch what I can do.
You know, like right now, you remind me of a very young Queen Latifah.
Oh my God! My father always told me I look like Queen Latifah. I love Queen Latifah.
Yeah, you have like that thing about her. Like when I see you, instantly like Queen Latifah, pops up.
Oh, that's great. I love that. I love Queen Latifah. That's such a compliment. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Aw. All right, let's get this show on the road. Okay, so at the beginning, what made you decide to want to move to Korea or to study in Korea?
I think the first time I heard about Korea, I was like, what? On a daily, it won't be something that I would think about like going to Korea. So the whole concept was very new to me. And I loved living in Ghana. I'd already planned my life. I knew which university I wanted to go to. After university, I wanted to get a job. I wanted to get married. I wanted to settle down. So I had my life planned. So Korea coming into the picture was going to distort that plan. And I didn't really take lightly to it. So I had to think about it a lot. But, I spoke to my grandfather, and he's a major influence in my life. So I spoke to him, and he said, life presents opportunities in so many forms. And when you get these opportunities, you have to take them and make the best out of them. And I was getting a scholarship, which meant I was going to get free education. Most people have to take loans for that, So I did a lot of thinking, and the whole idea of, leaving my family behind and starting over, the different place, different environment, different culture, different people. It was a bit of a mental struggle, but I was like, you know what? I'm young, I'm adventurous. I want to see what the world has to offer. So I just picked my bags and kaboom, straight to Korea.
So how did you hear about it at the beginning, though? You said when you heard about it.
Yeah, because we had a lot of the Korean government was giving out a lot of scholarships, and they put them in the newspapers. We had leaflets about them in school. So I heard about it, and I told my dad, and my dad said he had heard about it too, and he asked me if I would be interested. Initially, I was like, too many people are gonna apply. I don't think I'm gonna get it. I was very skeptical, very pessimistic. But it's never hurts to try. It never hurts to try. So I gave it a shot, and kaboom. After a year, they called me. They said, "Hey, are you Sam?" I said, "Yes." Like, you got the scholarship. It was one of the things I will never forget. It was an unbelievable moment. I couldn't believe it. But I was like, all right, I guess this is a start to a new life, and that's the journey.
That's awesome. Yeah, I thought about doing that too, and I had the same feeling. Like, there's gonna be so many people trying to apply. Maybe I
Right.
not make it, but I don't know. Yeah, like you said, you always gotta try, right?
Definitely. Yeah, even if you fail, you have to try to know you're gonna fail, right? Because if you don't try, you're not gonna know anything at all. So it's definitely worth a try, no matter what it is.
That's what I think too. Awesome. So when you came to Korea, you started studying before you came to Korea or after you came to Korea?
After I came to Korea.
And how was that for you?
It
was like mandatory, right? For the Korean government scholarship, the first year is mandatory.
Yeah, first year. So I think the first first time I ever got a Korean book, I looked at it and I found it really difficult to decipher exactly what was there. It looked like characters.
Yeah, of course.
At some point, I thought it was math. I'm like, what is this? This is so strange. Yeah, I tell you, it was nothing that I'd seen before. So I was like, man, I don't know. But when I first started language school, I had a very, very pretty young teacher, and I was like, okay, if this is what it takes to learn Korean, then I'm all in.
Yeah.
Because, it's intensive, 4 hours every day, and I hated the thought of waking up to go to class in the morning, but because I could see my teacher, I was so excited, and I was bent on impressing her with my Korean all the time. Like I wanted to learn so hard that every time I met her, I spoke better Korean than I did before. So I feel like if anybody pushed me indirectly, it would be her. She was such a great influence. And I remember like first level Korean, every time we had a break, like 10 minutes break throughout the lesson, and every time we had a 10-minute break, I wouldn't go outside like the other students. I would just go and try to talk to the teacher because I was trying to get her to go on a date with me. So like I had to throw my lines, but I didn't know what to do because I barely knew any Korean. So I'll be struggling trying to put alphabets and words together, try to make sense. And
That's cute.
slowly but surely, yeah, I picked up. So she helped a great lot. Yeah, she helped me a lot.
Aw, that's such a cute little story.
Yeah, it's funny because I met her again not too long ago. Yeah, my first level teacher, and she was like, I can't believe it. I'm like, I can't believe it too, But yeah.
I bet she was pretty impressed with you after that, right?
Yeah,
you guys spoke Korean, yeah?
Yeah, I spoke to her in Korean. I'm like, the things that I wanted to tell you back then I couldn't say, I'll say all of it right now. So I told all of it to her in Korean, and she was just cracking up like, what?
That's so cute. So in addition to studying the 4 hours in class, how much did you study outside of class? How much would you say, like, daily?
I felt like this is the thing, yeah. When I was studying Korean, I was with a whole bunch of Chinese students. So they didn't speak good Korean and they had to communicate some sort. So they always ended up speaking a lot of Chinese around me. So when I first started learning Korean, I spoke more Chinese, like better Chinese than Korean.
Wow.
Yeah, because I mean I hear them speak every day, and I pick up languages so fast. So I'll try to imitate, and because of that, I struggle with the language a little bit. Like I remember, in my first level of Korean class, you have to take an exam to advance to the next stage, and I think I failed one of the. I think it was like listening. No, it was writing. I failed it, and I went to my room. I was crying. I thought I wasn't gonna make it to level 2. I was so sad. I'm like, crying, but yeah, my teacher, she rest assured me that you only failed one course. It doesn't mean that you failed. So I went to the next stage. But I feel like my whole Korean took flight when I started university in Korea. That was like it's like a whole new ball game. It's like everything that you studied in language school, this is where you have to apply it.
Yeah.
So like listening to classes in Korean, I lived in the Korean dormitories. I basically created an environment where I had to speak Korean to survive, and that was what helped me greatly. So when I moved into the dorms, my roommates were Korean, everybody was Korean. So basically you have to get, to get around, to find your way, you have to speak Korean. And I felt like it's like I had no option than to get better at it. And that really helped me a lot. Yeah.
So you surrounded yourself with the Korean. So it forced you to have to use it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So for someone who's trying to learn Korean, what advice would you give them, like me?
I feel like it's always good to have that one Korean friend around who you can conversate a lot, with and tell a lot of things to, because when you have that person, they'll tend to correct you when you make mistakes, and you find out that the things that you read in the book are not exactly what Koreans speak. It's a little different. So reading the book is very important as well, but it's always good to have a couple of Korean friends that you always have that opportunity to speak to and with, and that'll improve your speaking drastically. I can tell you that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since I've been here, I haven't really studied, just chatting and talking with some Korean friends, and I feel like I've picked up some from that. But I think if I studied on top of that, it would definitely help, learning some vocabulary and then practicing.
Definitely, because like even with the Korean language itself, it's a very fun and creative language. A lot of new words come up every day, new expressions, new phrases. So when you update yourself regularly, you find out that you were speaking very up to date Korean, which is what I try to do most of the time. So that helps as well. You go on Naver, a lot of new expressions. And the thing about Korean is that Korean has so many words to describe just one emotion or a taste or something. So many.
Yeah.
So it's always good to update yourself and learn new words. And when you learn these things, it's good to apply them right away.
Yeah.
Like when I learn a Korean word, I try to create a situation where I can use it there and then. Then your brain can capture it for long term. So that helped me a lot. Like learning and using it or applying it right away did a great
Yeah,
deal of help to me.
definitely. I think that's the best way too. Learning the vocabulary and then trying to fit it into your daily life and using it daily.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. So before you knew Korean, before you learned Korean, was there any other languages that you had already known?
I studied French when I was back home.
Mm-hmm.
I think my mom, she was keen on making sure that we spoke French. So I took French classes at school because it's mandatory. French is
Oh,
a second language in Ghana, so we have to speak it. And I remember like I had a private French teacher who would come home and teach. Like that was how interested my mom was in French.
oh,
So yeah, I did well at French. I liked the language and I studied hard. I think until I got to high school, I lost a lot of interest in it and I stopped. But prior to that, I did a lot of studying French and some couple of local dialects, but mainly French.
do you think that
Yeah.
helps you when you were trying to study Korean? Like that you studied previously a language and then now you're studying a new language. Do you think that experience helped you when you're trying to learn a new language when you came to Korea?
Uh, I don't know if it did directly in the sense that we have a lot of local dialects back home. We have like 78 local languages. I'm
Uh-huh.
not talking about dialects. I'm talking about local language. So
Uh,
the average Ghanaian must speak about two or three of them
uh-huh.
just to get around. So I feel like that like automatically is like it's like just embedded in your brain that when you go somewhere and you can't speak the language, you have to try to learn it as quickly as you can to survive. So
Yeah.
in Ghana, I didn't realize it, of course, because it was natural to me. But when I came out of Ghana, I was in Korea. When I was learning Korean, I looked at it as learning any other local language that was in Ghana. And I felt
Uh-huh.
like having that thought really helped. So it might not be directly, but indirectly, I felt like coming up or growing up in an environment where I had to speak like more than one language definitely contributed in a way to me picking up Korean. But I would say that having a Korean companion or Korean friend around you is gonna like shoot it up a notch for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
because you need somebody to practice with. You learn, and you practice, and you get better.
Yeah, I can speak some
Yeah.
Korean and like I realize like when I don't see my Korean friends for a while and then I see them again, it feels more difficult to speak
Yeah.
Korean.
Yes. 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 Yes.
It's so
It's
difficult.
that's the thing about language. You constantly have to, keep practicing and practicing. When you do, you get better.
So you were going to school and you went to school for
Yes.
4 years, right?
Yeah.
To
Four
get your
years. Yeah.
bachelor's. Okay.
Yeah.
How did the whole entertainment thing start with you? Like who contacted you? Like how did the whole thing start?
Now that I look at it, I feel like this dates back to a long time ago when I was in Ghana. I was very young. I was I was a very lively kid. Like I loved anything that involved entertainment. I did street dancing for 5 years. You know, anything that involved entertainment back home, I was the guy you had to come talk to. So,
That's awesome.
but also I was focused on my books at that time,
Uh-huh.
and I feel like I pretty much balanced the two so well. But when I came to Korea, I was coming as a government scholar, so I had to focus more on the book side. And when I was in school, I joined a hip hop and R&B group because I was like, I missed that bit of my life, and I wanted to rekindle it. So I joined the group, and even being in college, I did part-time jobs here and there. I did some acting gigs here and there. I did some modeling gigs here and there. It was until my last year of college that uh, a company. They wanted to do a TV show, and they had initially contacted a friend of mine, and he said he couldn't do it, so they called me instead. And I was like, sure, it's a way to make some money, and I meet new people. It's a new experience out of the whole book life. So I was like, sure, why not? And it's something that I've always been interested in. So I did the show, and I realized that it was something that I enjoyed so much. I felt like I could express myself anyhow I wanted. I could be the person that, deep inside I've always wanted to be. And I was like, maybe this is what I really want to do. So I give it a lot of thought. I thought about it a lot, and I looked at the opportunities. I looked at, the platform, and I looked at what I wanted to do in the long term. And I was like, you know what, just go for it. So that's how I started, basically.
That's awesome. That's so cool that you're actually doing something that you've always wanted to do and that you were doing back in Ghana.
Yeah. And, the thing is, with this, I feel like, in a sense, it's my destiny. And the reason why I say that is like, the first time I actually went on TV officially was when I was in Hello Counselor. And I don't know if people know this, but I was with a friend. He's Kenyan, and at that time he spoke way better Korean than me. He was the main guy, and I was the friend of his. I was the friend that went with him. So I was just the guy, and he was the main guy. And he had the opportunity to be big, in Korea and do all that kind of stuff. But he chose to, work for Korean Air. So he's like, I'm not gonna do it. So okay, fine, then I'll do it, I guess. So I was like, fine, and I got a gig. And with our first official TV show that got me started, like I said, they wanted a friend of mine. They wanted him to do it, but he said he couldn't do it. So they came looking for me. So it's like those opportunities, I felt like they were meant for me, and eventually they found themselves to me, and I was like, I totally embraced it. I'm like, this is what I want to do, especially in the long run. It's gonna help me a lot, so why not? And I have a chance to uh, be a voice for so many people, and I like to be responsible, and I feel like that will hold me responsible and accountable for the things that I will do as well. So I'm like, why not? And I totally took that opportunity.
Oh man, that's so awesome. That's cool, man. So my next question was, if you didn't live in Korea, would you have still tried to pursue this entertainment job? And you already said that there's something that you were really interested in, but do you think it would have been as easily possible if you didn't come to Korea to become or be in the entertainment?
You know, um, it's interesting because I remember watching an interview with Michael Jordan, and he said that the word "if" should be taken out of the dictionary. And the reason why he said that is because, like, if it's something that's like non-existent, like you cannot know what's gonna happen until you've been on the other side. Like I've tried to imagine how my life would have been if I was in university. I definitely would have been holding some sort of entertainment position for sure. But like you said, with all the competition and everything back home, sometimes I wonder if this opportunity would have presented itself easily as it did, to me in Korea. And possibly not that, because you don't I don't think I would have stood out as much as I have here, in the sense that people are very similar to me. You know, everybody's trying to. A lot of people are trying to do the things that I'm trying to do. So I reckon it would have been much harder to probably do that. So I probably would have eventually, you know, moved away from that idea and probably focused more on getting like, a very professional job at a company or something like that. That's what I would have most likely would have done eventually. But I don't know. But that's just a thought. But one
Yeah.
thing I know for sure is that even if I had officially decided to indulge myself in entertainment business and probably do TV shows and be an actor and all of that, I don't think it would have been as easy as it was for me in Korea.
Well, I'm glad that this opportunity came up for you, though, man.
Yeah, me
I
too. I'm
really
very happy
am.
about that.
Yay. Um, so we already know that you stand out in Korea, being a Black man and being in the entertainment industry here in Korea. Would you say that you had any difficulties um, becoming so popular in Korea and becoming involved in the entertainment industry like you are now? Or do you think that
Oh,
ethnicity has kind of helped you grow?
I think it goes both ways because when I started doing, you know, this job like a while back, not officially, but just like for part time, while being an extra in a movie here and there, like I
Mhm.
felt a bit of discrimination most of
Yeah.
the time, and it was one of the main things that I really wanted to change. Before I started doing this, I was like, if I ever get the opportunity to go mainstream, I'll be able to let Koreans know that this is what some of the things that we colored people have to go through. Because like I definitely could sense the difference in treatment all the time. Like the black people always had to be at the back, and the roles that were totally absurd. And of course, the stereotypes that Koreans had about black people, we had to live up to those stereotypes, and I didn't like them. I was like,
Yeah.
that's something that I want to change. And I remember like the first time I did the show, the guys that were with me they were a little overwhelmed and a little shocked to see a black man who spoke some decent Korean
Yeah.
and actually understood their humor in a sense, and that like automatically translated as he understanding their culture.
Hmm.
So the response was good. So I remember when I first went to meet my boss, he it was like he wasn't really sure about me. He just said, I don't know what's gonna happen, but let's take a shot at this. Let's see what happens. He wasn't really banking on me like that. He's like, oh, maybe it could work, maybe it couldn't. Let's just see what happens. And to my dismay, Koreans really accepted me. And I felt like they realized that besides my skin color, I speak their language and I understand their culture. And I think one of the things that it might be very subtle, but really helped me was the fact that a lot of Koreans tend to think I look like Will Smith, and they like Will Smith, like they love him.
It was really funny because I was telling my friend about you today, a Korean friend, and the first person
Yeah.
that came up was Will Smith.
Yes, yes. A lot of Koreans like for some reason I feel like it's been a blessing in disguise. That
Yeah.
when they see me, the first thing that comes into their minds are like, oh, he looks like Will Smith, and they love Will Smith. So I feel like that also gave me some sort of leeway. Like, oh, okay, because I feel like when Koreans think of a good-looking black man, there are certain images in their head that they have, and Will
Yeah,
Smith is
yeah, of
one of
course.
them. To them, he's like he's cool, he's good-looking, So for them to liken me to him, that means that they think, okay, he's a black man, but he's probably a good-looking black man, and he probably is cool as Will Smith and can do stuff. So I heard these things a lot, and being in the industry, I felt like just having that cover from Will Smith alone like helped me a lot.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm not
that's
gonna
so
deny
funny
that.
though.
It's true. It's very funny, but it's very true. It's really really true. I tell you.
Yeah,
So
and
that helped me a lot. Yeah.
he's your role model too, right?
Yeah. I don't agree with all the things that he does and says, but I like his work
Yeah.
ethic and I like the legacy that he's built so far. So he's been a good role model to me so far. So good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
You were talking about some discriminations. When you were
yeah.
going
Yeah.
through these times, were you discouraged? Did you have any doubts about the whole entertainment industry
The thing is
going
like
into it?
coming from a place where everybody looked the same. I'd heard about racism,
Yeah.
but I didn't really knew it existed in the physical form until I got to Korea.
Hmm.
Like part of it is ignorance, but part of it is like just blatant racism. Like I've been in the subway and I've experienced racism a couple of times, like direct physical attacks. So
Man.
you just walk by people and they just start like like saying bad things about you, and I'm like, but I didn't say anything. I only just walked by.
Yeah.
So those I did feel a little discouraged. I'm like, why are they doing that? But I think on the other hand, I met certain Koreans that were just very nice to me,
Hmm.
and I felt like meeting those Koreans, the experiences I had with them overshadowed the bad ones that I had. I
Yeah.
felt like if I had a continued um experience where it was only people being very bad to me and not being so nice, I feel like that would have really hurt me a lot. But I met so many cool Koreans that were aware of what was really going on, and they understood the kind of discrimination that some black people faced in Korea, and they were willing to discuss it. And they said, look, we got your back. Just having that kind of support, I felt like played a very important role in me not feeling too left out or too discouraged to the point where I feel like I just want to totally give up everything and go back.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good that you stuck it out. Good.
I had to. I mean, I've always grown up with a very tough skin, so it's break me down. But what I'm gonna say is, it really opened my eyes to, ignorance and racism, and how
Yeah.
it plays in the minds of people, and how it's eventually manifests itself physically. It opened my eyes to that, and I felt like it made me read more, and I did a lot of looking up on the history. So it's, in a way, it's really helped me in terms of, try to look it up more and learn more Black history and all of that. So
Yeah. Myself as well. I feel like I've experienced some I guess discrimination, or just some, like you said, some ignorance, but then you can't really say that it's always ignorance, And
yeah, of
then
course. I mean, that's the thing. Like I like I said, sometimes it's ignorance, sometimes it's just plain racism. Like they know what they're doing and they still go ahead to do it. So, and the reason why I say it is because, like, I feel like we're at an age where everything is very accessible online.
yeah.
Internet is there. You can inform and educate yourself. So if you make a conscious decision to, still, look back and still live that way, then that's still up to you. But I feel like a lot of outlets need to educate the people more on, what racism is, what it does to people, how it can affect their lives and all of that. They definitely still have a long way to go when it comes to that, for sure.
Yeah. I also think that it has to do kind of with like the culture, and then also what Koreans view as like attractive as well.
Right, right, right,
Like they're
right.
all with the white skin and
Yeah,
is pretty and clean, and then like the darker you are, even like
yeah,
Koreans who are just a little bit tan,
yeah,
they want to be lighter skinned. So for us coming here and we're dark, and other darker people coming here, then they're like, yeah, they're not very attractive, and so they have this kind of stereotype, I guess. I don't
true,
know.
true. Yeah.
So I think it's a mixture of different things for them. So in Korea, what are your goals in Korea? Like your future goals in Korea in the entertainment industry?
Well, one of the things I really want to do is I want to get to that level of being an actor. I mean, who is definitely not of Korean origin, but is regarded as one of the main actors from Korea.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like when Koreans are talking about main actors from Korea, I
yeah.
want to be on that list. And it's like, it's never been done. And I really want to work hard to make that happen. And I'm also looking forward to hopefully, partner with some Koreans in the future, and, creating an industry for foreign entertainers that are willing to come to Korea and do something different.
Mm-hmm.
Not just the petty, you know, stereotypical same roles for foreigners that they have on their TV, but where they can actually create a decent market
Mm-hmm.
for them to be able to be incorporated in the whole Korean entertainment industry, and they feel like they're part of it. It's one of the things I want to do. But besides entertainment, I'm looking forward to opening a restaurant here. That's
Oh,
one of my short-term goals. Yeah, like an African restaurant where, Koreans and everybody from everywhere could just come and taste like, good African food, have like African vibes, like very, very nice place, very
yeah.
class, it's very classy. But then again, they have like good local dishes coming through. People can actually go and eat and have a feel of Africa. So that's one of my short-term goals. And I have thought about doing a little bit of politics, but not now, in the future.
Yeah. That whole
Yeah, in the
restaurant,
future,
that
but
would
not
be
now.
awesome, man. It's
Yeah,
it's hard to find like authentic international, like real good
yeah, yeah,
food here, and that'd be really awesome if you could open up that
yeah,
restaurant.
yeah. Yeah, so I'm still working on it. It's been a very slow process. A lot of things that have to be done, but eventually I'm gonna get there. I'm
Yeah.
working slowly
Going
but
back to
surely.
the part where you were talking about being like an actor out of Korea, I think
Yeah.
what you were saying about having international people come here and trying to be a part of that will be really great. Not to like try to take over, but try to come here and like educate and show the Korean people more about the world, you know? And that's what you're doing. You're here in Korea and you're showing them that there's more out there than just
Yeah.
Korea. And I think that's awesome. You're over there and you're just representing Ghana and then teaching them and showing them everything about that, which is really great. So that's your goal in Korea. And you said something about politics. So that's your long-term goal
Yes.
outside of Korea? What
Yeah.
do you
Oh,
want to do?
and one of the things I wanted to do is you know, I wanted to try and see what I can do with the African market as well. Because I know a lot of Africans are interested in Korean culture and Korean, you know, K-dramas and K-pop and all of that. So I'm trying to see how I can, you know, capitalize on that and try to take a bit of that to Africa and see, you know, how, you know, people react to it and see if there can be a collaboration in terms of like, you know, African entertainment and Korean entertainment, you know, just fusing it together and try to do something in the future. So it's definitely something that I'm looking at in the long run.
That would be really awesome. I just feel like
Yeah.
Korea has like an ignorant view of Africa because like
Yeah,
even in my classes when I teach, they ask me where I'm from, or if I ask them, where do you think I'm from? Oh, Africa. And I'm like, I don't understand. Why is it so funny? And it's just like, I mean, I still don't really understand why they think it's so funny to think that I would be from Africa. I think it's just that what they see on TV is that Africa is a poor country that needs help and the UNICEF commercials and things like that. And for them to say that I'm from Africa, they think it's like a joke and think it's funny. So you doing that, it would be really great so that Korea can see what Africa really is like. And every time they, you know, they do that, I try to tell them, you know, guys, Africa is not just a country, it's a continent. It's huge. You know, Africa is awesome and powerful and I don't know. They need to learn, and you being here is really great.
Yeah, I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna push it to as far as I can. I'll definitely go the mile. Try to find different outlets, you know, to try and educate them on Africa, and you know, like you said, open your mind to the fact that it's not just some jungle, but it's a place that has people just like them, has opportunities. You know, it's gonna get better and better in the future. So that's one of the things that you know I have on my heart that I'm really looking forward to working towards.
Yeah, and I love that. I'm really kind of passionate about that too. Because whenever they do that, I'm just like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Why?
Yep.
All right. So what advice would you give to people of color living in Korea as far as the stereotypes and the I don't know, racism and discriminations and things like that? Like what kind of, I guess, encouraging advice and then also other just general advice would you give?
Um, you know, I feel like people of color, they come from various places around the world. You know, everybody's experiences are different. I guess sometimes people experience racism where they're from, and when they come to Korea, they expect it to be like a getaway or, you know, like a fresh start, and they come and there's some form of racism here as well. So it's like, okay, I thought something that I thought I was going away from, but it's still here. So,
Yeah.
you know, it kind of discourages them. But I want them to understand that, you know, these things, of course, they're there and eventually they will have to be dealt with. But on the other hand, there's so many great people that, you know, it's growing exponentially in Korea, people that are becoming more culturally aware, you know, and traveling around a lot. It's opening their eyes to so many things. And I feel like Korea has a lot of wonderful opportunities once you are able to make time to learn the language. Like I would give this advice to any person that wants to live in Korea, at least for a couple of years or for the long term. Make Korean your goal. You know, strive to get better at it every day. And I guarantee you, if you do that, it will break down so many walls and it'll melt so many barriers that you know, in ways that you could never imagine. Because I've experienced the power of language, and I would like to give that advice to anybody that's willing to be in Korea for a while. make that one of your goals. Work hard at it. Like study your Korean every day. Once you get better, eventually Koreans realize that, you know what, this thing of skin color is just something that's not really important, in the sense that they realize that you're just a human being just like them, and you speak Korean, and that automatically translates to the fact that you understand their culture, and they can open up more to you, and you can get that full Korean experience that you were looking for when you came here initially. So make that your goal, and I would encourage people to just go out and experience Korea, enjoy Korea. Itaewon is a great place, but there's so many other places in Korea that you can actually enjoy that, cultureness, get that sense of culture, meet new people, just experience it. Just living in Seoul, I feel like it rips you and robs you of the full experience that Korea has to offer. So,
Yeah.
you go around, you meet new people, you learn new things, and you once you have Korean down, your life in Korea is gonna be comfortable to a great extent for sure.
So you'd say after you've learned Korean, it was a lot more easier for you.
A lot more easier. Like Koreans will look at you and be like, man, he's just like me.
Yeah.
You speak Korean like me, and after a while, you it's like you transcend from that whole realm of being just a friend to being a brother, being somebody that can be like, yo, this my homeboy, this my homegirl, this my
Oh,
sister, this my family, and they accept you, and you feel like you're part of them, and they feel like they're part of you as well. So, and I feel like that is also a very great way to um you know teach Koreans our culture as well.
yeah.
It's just like it's a give and take situation. You learn their culture, and you use that as an opportunity to educate them on your culture as well. Because when Koreans they start gaining an interest in you, it's much easier to present your culture to them and tell them where you're from, and
Mhm.
they're very curious about it. And because they're friends with you, they're more interested, and there's a high possibility that they might even travel to where you are just to learn your background and all of that. So
Mhm.
getting the Korea on lockdown will help you a lot in Korea. Like
Yeah.
it's the number one mode for survival. I guarantee anybody that wants to be here long term to try it, it's gonna work for you like that.
Even just a simple 안녕하세요, 안녕하세요, like because
I
when I
tell you,
get
yeah,
stares, we get people stare at us. When I get stares, sometimes they be mean mugging, but it's just like they're concentrating, and then you smile
yeah.
안녕하세요, and then they light up, and then and then just it's so great. All right, we're almost done. We're almost done. I think I
All
got
right,
like one more question. Okay, so
okay.
if a person of color would like to become involved in the entertainment industry, what further advice would you give besides learning up the Korean, learning Korean?
Um, I think it's very important to know what channel that you want to go through. Let's say you want to do movies, or you want to sing. Once you figured out exactly what you want to do, then you try to meet the right people that are involved in that. And like I said, when you know what you want to do and you speak that Korean, it's easier to communicate with people and say, hey, this is what I want to do. Do you know anybody that's involved? Because in the entertainment industry, you also need to be very well connected, just like everywhere else. You're very
Yeah.
well connected. You have a talent that you want to show, you want to do this. I can be like, oh, I met this person and he or she can do this. You recommend the person to this person, that person. Next thing you know, they get you in a gig, and you blow up, and that's it. So you have to put yourself in an environment where you can link up with the right people.
Yeah.
And you also have to be ready in terms of the language, in terms of being culturally aware, and also being mindful of what comes with working in the entertainment industry. Because I feel like it gets to a point where Koreans don't really see you as a foreign entertainer anymore. It's just like you become just an entertainer to them. There's no
Yeah.
there's no much of a big difference. Like that's the thing. Like Koreans will just look at you and be like, "Oh, it's Sam." He's from Ghana, but he's an entertainer in Korea. That's all it is. It's not like really foreign entertainer. So you tend to get exactly you know similar conditions as actual Korean entertainers would get.
Mhm.
You get it. So I feel like they should strive to get to that level where like their talent is speaking for them, one, and two, their Korean is on par, and three, they connect themselves with the right people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. So what do you prefer doing? I know you've been on a variety of kind of shows,
Yeah.
like what, talk shows, game shows, the Marine show, and then dramas and movies. I mean, you've done it all, right?
Yeah, pretty much everything.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer? Which one did you enjoy most? Which one did you have fun? Which one was the most difficult, challenging?
I like movies
Uh-huh.
because I feel like they allow me to step out of my comfort zone.
Uh-huh.
When I do variety shows, they are fun, but it's just like I literally have to show up and I understand the concept of the show. I say a couple of funny things, I do some funny things, and they like it. But in terms of the movie, you have to play a character that's not you. You know, it's not you. You have to become somebody else. And doing that in Korean, so it's like a double challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I enjoyed that and the whole process. You know, going through your lines, getting an acting coach, just like that whole thing of being able to just say, okay, fine, I'm doing a role, I'm speaking Korean, and this is what I'm doing, and try to, work hard towards it. I feel like that is what gives me the most excitement, like doing movies for sure. Yeah.
How many movies? You've just been in one movie, or how many
Two
have you
movies,
been in?
but I've been in two movies, but the one I shot recently was where I was one of the main characters, and
What, I heard about it. I haven't watched it. What's the name of
yeah,
it?
it's called Intimate Enemies.
And you were like the husband of
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
one
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
the,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
main
yeah, yeah,
characters.
yeah, yeah. So Intimate Enemies, and I was in Harmony. That was like a cameo. Yeah.
What part did you play in that one?
Oh, there's some random guy who's cussing from Ghana. You know, but I played myself. I played myself. So there's a
Ah,
little cameo. But Intimate Enemies was definitely one of the first and major works that I've done, and I'm looking forward to, doing a couple of results. Like I said, it's still a struggle with Koreans when it comes to expanding on the characters that foreigners can play. I feel
mm-hmm.
like they still have a lot of work to do, and if they're able to figure that out, boy, it will bring so much variety to their movies, and they can do a
Yeah.
lot of things. Yeah,
So
I'll
what are
tell
you
it.
working on right now? What are you working on now? You're doing some drama right now, or
Yeah,
did you finish that
yeah,
up?
yeah. Our drama is almost done, and I'm gonna Ghana for a few days. I have certain things I need to take off in Ghana, so I'm trying to become like the official ambassador for Ghana in Korea. So I'm
Oh,
I'm working on that to make that happen. Yes, and there's a movie. You know, I'm not gonna give a lot of detail, but I got the script recently, and I'm working on it. So hopefully everything works out. We're gonna start shooting this summer, and that'll be great. So yeah, a couple of projects that I'm working on, and I partnered with World Vision last year to build a school in Ghana, and we've been able to raise all the funds, and we officially, cutting the sword to start the school in September.
that
Yeah.
is so
So
exciting.
yeah, it's very exciting for me. Get to meet
Oh
the kids.
man.
Yeah, it was one of my goals. So like officially having to get that started means a lot to me, and I'm really excited about it.
What should we be looking out for? So you said you got roles for a new movie coming up.
Yes, yes.
What is the drama called so that people can watch it
It's called
too?
it's like Budim School,
Mm-hmm.
Budim
Moving
School,
school.
and it's buzzing on the internet right now. Like people are going crazy with the drama, so we're happy about that. The feedback has been tremendous. Budim School, and
What part do you play in it?
I play the overseer of the school. Like
Oh
I take
wow.
care of I take care of the students. I teach the students martial arts from time to time. So yeah, it's one of the dramas that I think will set the pace for diversity in Korean dramas, because we had a cast from Hong Kong, from Germany, from Ghana, from the UK, very diverse, from Thailand. It's very diverse. I feel like this would pioneer more Korean dramas into, try to fuse foreign actors and Korean actors and try to get good stuff out to the world. So yeah.
So they're all in that drama right now in that
Yeah,
season.
all in that drama, yes,
So
yes.
is it a school? Is it supposed to be like an international school or something?
It's a Korean school, but like international students can apply because they
Ah,
have international professors that are working there. So yeah.
Okay. So is that all you're working on right now? Is that drama? Like
I'm doing that, and I'm still doing Abnormal Summit. I'm still doing Abnormal Summit, and Chinchas and I hasn't officially finished yet. I'm still waiting to hear some feedback. We might get on there again, but it hasn't been decided yet. But I'm doing that, and I'm still doing a show called My Friend's Home.
uh-huh.
Yeah, we travel around the world to see where our friends live and all of that. So I'm doing
Oh,
that
that's
as well.
cool.
And after I come back from Ghana, we still got a couple of TV shows, new TV shows that are coming up that definitely I might get into.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is there somewhere where people can go to stay updated with everything that you're doing? Like
Yeah,
things that are
when you
coming out?
type Sam Okyere on Facebook, it's there. I have a Facebook page, and my Okyere is Okyere. A lot of people seem to get it confused. No, Okyere. You can get on my Instagram, Sam Okyere 1. I put a lot of updates. Basically, when you go on my Facebook page, everything that I do on a day-to-day basis, I put it there. So you can find out my upcoming projects, what I'm doing. Everything is on that page.
Cool.
Yes.
All right. I think that's pretty much it for today.
All right, sweet.
Thank you so much, Sam. This was
All right, no
awesome.
problem.
We're gonna have to
Yeah,
link up
it was
one
really
day.
fun. It was really fun. All right, definitely. Let me know when you come to Seoul.
Yeah, no, definitely. Whenever I get all my
All right.
stuff organized and situated and have some time, I'll come up there and see you. I know
Okay.
you're
Okay.
busy.
All right, definitely. I'll be here. I'll be here. So just let me know.
All right, man. You have a good evening. Have fun tonight.
I will. And you have a great night as well.
Thank you. Is there anything you wanted to say to the people?
I just want to say I really appreciate all the support. The past months have been amazing. A lot of people send me messages to tell me how proud they are of me, how to support me, and that means a lot. It makes me even want to work harder. It makes me want to fight to create more opportunities for people from all walks of lives to come to Korea and just pursue whatever goals and whatever dreams they have and be able to achieve them as well. So I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that's been supporting me and that's believed in me. It really means a lot, and I'm definitely gonna keep working hard. Thank you all.
Awesome. How about in Korean? How about you say something in Korean to the Korean fans?
아이고
Put you on the
지금
spot.
지금까지 샘오취리였고요. 생각보다 사랑을 많이 받아갖고 지금 활동하면서 사람들 많이 이제 관심도 가져주고 사랑도 많이 해주니까 진심으로 감사드리고 싶습니다. 그 다음에 제가 앞으로 활동할 것을 많고요. 영화도 출연할 거고 이제 예능적으로도 많이 도전할 거고 이제 새로운 도전을 많이 할 테니까 계속 응원해 주시고 많이 사랑해 주세요. 감사합니다. 샘오취리였습니다.
Oh, that's so cute. I understand it.
Sweet. I'm glad you do.
Your pronunciation is awesome too, man. Sound like a native.
아니에요.
All right, man. Love you so much. Thank you so
All right,
much
love you
for
too.
giving
Thank you
me
very
some of your
much.
time today, man.
Thank
I
you for
really, really
giving me
appreciate
your
it.
time. I know you're a busy woman too, so thank you for giving me your time for this interview.
Yeah, I know. I just recently got busy, man. I need to get off of here and take
Okay.
like a nap.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Have a great night, yeah?
Thank you too.
All
Bye.
right, bye.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.